Episode number 6. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for staying in touch. Thank you guys for doing all of this. This means a lot to me. In today's episode, we will talk about the fear of speaking our truth. And a lot of people struggle with that, you know? You want to say something, but then you hide it and you don't say it because, oh, what if they don't like me? What if they judge me? Whatever. So today's episode is all about this. We've all been there. After ending a conversation, you start to think of all the things you didn't say, a thought you didn't express, a boundary you didn't set. You had to soften your opinion just so you don't create conflict. And later, when the moment is gone, you realize, I wasn't fully honest. You feel like speaking your truth is risky, right? Today, I want to explore why so many thoughtful, capable humans struggle to say what they really feel. This topic appears more often than people expect. Someone describes a situation at work, with a client, or even in personal relationships. They knew what they wanted to say and they had perfect clarity, but in the moment, they stayed quiet. And when I ask why, the answers are usually along these lines. I didn't want them to think badly of me. I didn't want to lose the opportunity. But afterwards, they feel frustrated with themselves because, yes, they were not honest. They did not express their truth in that moment. As you guys know, let's hop into naming this pattern. Many people experience what we all know as the fear of rejection. It often develops in environments where approval felt important for safety, for belonging, and for opportunity. So the brain becomes very skilled at scanning social risks. Before speaking the truth, it evaluates. Will this upset someone? Will this damage the relationship? Will this close a door in my face? For artists, entrepreneurs, and creatives, this sensitivity can become even stronger because opportunities often depend on relationships, reputation, and collaboration. You begin shrinking yourself to avoid certain conversation. You keep the peace instead of expressing your truth. Over time, this creates an internal conflict. Externally, you appear agreeable and cooperative. Internally, you feel unheard and even by yourself. You lost touch with your authenticity. Let's understand why speaking your truth can feel so emotionally charged. Human beings are wired for belonging. I'll say this every time. We need to feel like we belong. For thousands of years, social rejection carried real survival consequences. So the brain evolved to treat disapproval as a threat. When you imagine disappointing someone or losing approval, the nervous system reacts almost like physical danger. You feel like there's a lion that is going to chase you and you're going to die. But that's not true. This is why even confident people sometimes struggle with direct honesty. Your mind is trying to protect connection. Now, this is where it gets deep. When your truth stays unspoken repeatedly, the body begins holding tension. Unexpressed emotions don't disappear. We said this before. They wait until one day they come back very strong and they will hit you on the face until you actually wake up and start paying attention. If you've been suppressing your truth for a long while, don't be surprised when your body responds with laziness, being tired all the time, body pain, inflammations, and so on. Authenticity is a moral value. This doesn't mean speaking your truth should become aggressive or careless. You can be honest and you can be kind as well. They can both coexist together. When I say authenticity is a value, that means this is something that you wake up every day and you choose to live by. You choose to express your truth. You choose to be real. You choose to be true. Even if other people around you feel uncomfortable, you do not have to shrink yourself so other people can agree with you. You can be kind and you can still be firm in your beliefs and in your truth. Both of them can coexist. Let's make this practical. Learning to speak your truth begins with small acts of honesty. And I know that this might be the hardest thing for a lot of people is, okay, Rebecca, I'm ready. I want to speak my truth. What to do? How do I do it? How do I start? I don't know. Every time you step there and every time you're in a situation where you need to say what's on your mind and what you truly feel, you start to shiver. Your body shakes. You feel so scared. Oh no, I cannot do it. And then automatically you go back to the old pattern. This is normal, especially when you're trying to teach your brain a new behavior. This is going to happen. I invite you to say your truth even when your voice is shaking, even if your hands shiver, even if you feel like you've been chased by a lion. Tool number 1, I call this micro-truth telling. So choose a small moment in daily life to express honest preference. For example, if you're in a restaurant and then the waiter asks if you want hot or cold water, don't say anything is fine. No, actually express what do you need in this moment. Another thing, instead of automatically agreeing, pause and actually think what do you think of it and say your opinion. Tool number 2, name the fear. When you feel hesitation before speaking, ask yourself, what am I afraid might actually happen if I say this? If possible, write the answer down. Often, the fear becomes clearer when it's named, and usually these are the answers you'll get. I'm afraid of disappointing someone. I'm gonna lose approval. I don't want them to think badly of me. I don't want them to misunderstand me. Tool number 3, honest language. I don't want you to be in attack mode. You don't need to be rude to speak your truth. But I want you to practice sentences that express experience rather than blame. I'm going to give you an example. I feel uncertain about this. I see it differently. I need more time to think. This doesn't feel aligned for me. I do not agree with you. These statements communicate truth while maintaining respect. I want you to sit with a specific question. Where in your life are you currently staying silent to keep the peace? What small truth could I express in this specific area without abandoning myself? And I say this in bold, be honest with yourself. If you were a people pleaser all your life, if you've been used to reading the room before reading your own feelings, this specifically can be very hard to do. I'm not saying that this is something that you're going to do today and tomorrow. These are small steps that you can repeat daily. Your nervous system at first is going to feel threat, it's going to feel scared, and it's going to be very afraid and not knowing what's going to happen. Of course, because this is something normal, this is something new. That does not mean if you feel it in the first few times you're actually trying to express your truth, that doesn't mean that this is going to be the case in all the times. Our brain learns through repetition and through behavior. Every time you speak your truth, even if your voice shivers, you are training your brain to speak your truth more and more, and it will become more adapted to saying what you actually need to say without feeling bad or feeling like other people might hate you for it. They won't. I offer a one-on-one 3-month program for business owners, artists, and leaders who feel successful on the outside, but they do feel like their personal life is lacking fulfillment, connection, and authenticity. Go to the link in my bio to book your first discovery call directly with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow me on my Instagram account at The Authentic Coach. This was episode number 6. Let's hop on episode number 7.